All right, there's a restart. Welcome to the final day of our psychic decontamination meditative practice series sessions, however you'd like to consider them. Okay, so I'm just pulling up the mantra, making sure I am ready. Okay, so today, the point of today is since we went through a couple of other aspects that can bring up a lot of challenging things, especially when we're dealing with overwhelm, inundated with information, whether that's misinformation, disinformation, thumbnails, it's relationships, it's just life, right? That can bring up a lot of stuff. So I have paired a couple of aspects together that typically don't get presented together. Let me frame it that way. So let's go ahead and tune in and I'll talk a little bit more about this, but I want to set the intention first here, or tune in first. Let me rephrase that. Okay, so go ahead and rub your palms together. Sorry, I'm a little scattered. I'm very excited for today to see how this works out. Okay, close your eyes, bring your hands to heart center. Inhale, exhale. And then we'll tune in with the Adi mantra, Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, repeated 3 times. We'll inhale to begin. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Om Namo Guru Dev Namo. Inhale, hold the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, hold the breath, pull the root lock. Exhale, and actually we're going to hold the breath out. So exhale fully, hold the breath out, pull the root lock. And inhale. Okay, go ahead and shake the hands out. Just take a moment, shake it off, give your body a nice little shake. Roll the shoulders, roll the head, loosen up a little bit. Okay, so let me chat a little bit about the layers that we're going to be using today. So we're going to be using EFT, emotional freedom technique, or commonly known as tapping. I forgot to have, okay, I'll try to find that in just a second. So this is to connect to any stuck places, any stuck energy that's within our tissues, to give ourselves permission to allow the body to release that, okay, whatever's stuck in there. And it's a tangible method for discharging the residual stress, okay, whether it's from the practices we did in the first 2 days, or it's maybe you had a hectic day today and you need a little bit of help releasing that residual stress. Okay, it will amount to the same thing. It's giving you permission to release it. We're going to pair this. Actually, let me start with how I actually came across this. So the way that I learned to use tapping was along the side of the skull. One side was for the negative statement, the other side was for the positive statement, what you were looking to achieve. And I never really connected to this because it's sort of like it felt like arguing with my mind. So yeah, I can state the negative. I do that pretty regularly. And then stating the positive that I'm working towards, well, that's kind of hard to connect to if I don't believe it, right? So it never really connected fully. It did help. I noticed that my body would release the stress regardless of what my mind believed or was thinking about while I was tapping. My body was able to relax and de-stress at least a little bit. So then I started listening to mantras while I was tapping. So I would focus on the mantra as I would go through the tapping points. And that's where it really helped to deepen tapping for me specifically. So today what I wanted to try was, instead of focusing on the mantra, we're going to focus on the music. We're going to tap in alignment with the music, which I have dropped the mantra that I will be using while we're going through. It is still the Chaturvarti meditation. This one's different. It's the full 11 minutes of just the mantra, whereas yesterday was 3 minutes of it. So I've switched it. It's still the same mantra, same artist, but it's the full 11 minutes of the mantra instead of 3. We will only be practicing for 3. So the mantra is going to act as more of a container kind of swirling around us to keep the conscious mind focused, okay, while we tap to the music to allow the rhythm to give our body permission to release. I haven't tried it this way before. That's why I'm really excited to try it this way. Now, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find, actually, whoops, not opening 4. Okay, let me see if I can find that image that I had before that shows the tapping points. Okay, I have way too many tabs open, obviously. Okay, I like this one. Let's use this one. It's a little bit clearer. Does it have both? It does. Okay. I just want the image though, guys. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay, let me see if I can do it this way. Okay. Yep, work with me here. My apologies, I did not prepare for this part, and I thought I had this saved somewhere, and I did not. Okay, so it's gonna block the avatar's face just a little bit, but I want you to see. So we're mostly gonna be focusing on the face. I have my headset and it goes over the top of my head, so I'll probably be skipping the top of the head. I'll just be focusing on the eyebrows, the side of the eye, and then underneath the eye, it's that part of it's the bone that touches or that's underneath your eye. We're tapping on that bone there. And then underneath the nose, and then the moon center or the chin. Um, and then the collarbones. So if you put your fingers on the collarbones and you bring them down just a little bit to where your middle finger touches the bottom of your collarbone, where the rest of your fingers are touching, it's going to be that spot right there. And then under the arm, let's see how I can explain that. So if anyone wears, well, it would be where your tank top falls. That spot right there where the tank top will generally sit, it's that spot where you'll be tapping. And then the karate chop is just, as you can see, it's just on the sides right here. Excuse me, along the edges. I think I'll be skipping that today. I won't be using the karate chop point. Let me move this over just a little bit and then I'll leave the image up just for ease of use. So working with this area right here, just the face and the collarbone. And like I said, we'll just be doing 3 minutes for today. And then, so go ahead and get the mantra music pulled up. Like I said, I dropped it in the description. I'll just take a couple minutes here. Let me take my glasses off. Actually, let me get the timer pulled up here. Okay, so we got the timer. Okay. And so we're tuned in. So with the music, we're just going to start tapping. So we're going to start at the eyebrow point. Now you can do both sides like I typically do, or you can do one side or the other. Either way, it's effective. And it's a firm tap, but it's not aggressive. You just want to tap firmly. I'm blanking on how better to explain that. And we're going to tap along with the music. And then the side of the eye. And just deepen your breathing. We're just tapping along underneath the eye. Okay, this particular music is a little harder than I thought it was going to be. Okay, underneath the nose. All right, my apologies, guys. Next time I'll select a better song to tap to. I mean, you can kind of tap with the strings. That's what I'm focusing on. Okay, we're tapping the chin in case I didn't say that out loud. Okay, collarbone. Okay, it's getting a little easier to tap along with the strings now. Hopefully it's getting easier for you guys as well. Okay, and then we'll do one side or one time underneath the arm so you can get a feel for how that shows up in your body. Okay, and then we'll go back up to the eyebrows. Okay, I'm getting a lot of like joyous swirls with focusing more on the music as I tap. That's kind of fun. I hope you all are having a similar experience. Okay, so we'll continue this round. So we'll finish this round. Go the sides of the eyes. Nice deep breathing here. Under the eyes. Okay, I've got some stuck stuff in my throat that's asking for attention. Interesting. Okay, under the nose. Okay, the chin. Almost said under the mouth. Over the chin. Okay, and the collarbone. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and do under the arm since this was our last round. Okay, maybe not. My intuition saying we need to do another round, so we'll do one more. We're still under the arm though. Okay, back to the eyebrow. Okay, side of the eye. Under the eye. Okay, and what I've started doing, since I'm doing both sides at the same time, I'm kind of creating the beat with opposite sides to help me stay focused on the music. That seems to be really helpful and kind of a cool experience. Okay, under the nose. Okay, a little harder to keep the beat under the nose with one hand, so I'm switching between using my fingers to create the beat. Okay, the chin. Okay, collarbone. Remember to keep your breathing nice and deep. Okay, under the arm. Apparently we're going to stick with that this time. Nice deep breathing. Okay, I'm going to do one more round. So anyone that would like to join me, bring the tapping back up to the eyebrows. If your intuition or your body's like, I'm good, go ahead and just bring yourself into easy pose. Bring your hands into your lap or onto your knees. Just sit and be, notice any shifts, any changes. And everyone that's still with me, we're going to the side of the eye. Okay, under the eye. Nice deep breathing. Whether you're still tapping or you're just checking in with yourself, remember to breathe deeply. Okay, under the nose. Okay, the chin. Collarbone. Oh, excuse me. My sinuses are struggling. under the arm. Okay, and everybody that stuck with me through that last round of tapping, go ahead and bring your hands into your lap. Inhale, exhale. Check in with yourself. Notice any shifts. Notice what's happening. My whole energetic body feels like it's dancing. This is super cool. I'm glad that I tried this. And feel free to drop in the comments what your experience was, anything you noticed, any shifts, what worked, what didn't. If you feel like sharing, of course. If not, that's okay too. Just notice it for yourself. You can have your eyes closed. You can soften your gaze. Just make sure you're checking in with how you feel. Nice deep breathing. And yes, we're taking some extra time here to sit and notice. Notice any shifts. And that includes anything that still feels stuck. Please notice that as well. It does want your attention. And honestly, the stuck stuff that remains does deserve our attention too. How else are we going to heal it? Or start working to heal it? Nice deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Okay. So I hope you found this helpful. I hope you found this beneficial. And it was a little clunky because, like I say, I haven't ever tried tapping in that fashion before, where I focused on the music versus the mantra. And I kind of wanted to show real time just how I adapt to different aspects that I try throughout my meditations, different things that I'm like, ooh, let's see if this works. And just kind of how I feel it out, how I test things out live while I'm doing the meditation. And just to show that what I'm sharing with you is actually what I'm doing. So it is very much organic. Sometimes it starts off clunky, sometimes it starts off disjointed, it's a little confusing because that took me a second to really center on the music itself while just letting the mantra kind of go. So it was challenging at first and it was a fun experiment. I think I'm going to continue testing that out with different mantras, different styles of music, and see where it takes me. So like I say, let me know in the comments what worked for you, what you found helpful, if there was anything that you'd like to see tried or something that you feel would add to a meditation. So just to close out the main part of the series, I do have one more aspect that I'll be sharing with you tomorrow, just to kind of bring it all together, to kind of seal it all for what we've cleared, what we've shifted. We started with acknowledging the couldn'ts, right? Then we moved into feeling and grounding to protect ourselves, learning how the flares feel, the warning signs within our bodies feel when we're stepping into heavier stuff. And we, excuse me, brought a mantra, a mudra together to give us that anchor to reach for when we feel those warning signs go up in our body. And then today it was about giving our nervous system a way to unclench, a way to release, while still utilizing a mantra to help us move beyond the mind, right? I don't know about any of you, but sometimes having like a phrase doesn't help me, because it's like, well, if it's mental, that's not going to help me get out of, the anxiety or the overwhelm that I'm feeling necessarily, because generally speaking, I climb into my head. And so that's kind of how I got into the anxious feeling. Stepping back into my head is not going to help me. So this is a way that I've anchored in the past. Listening to the mantra, tapping, connecting the two has really helped me just go, okay, well, the mind has something to do with the mantra, while I can help my body relax and unclench and release what I've been storing. So this was just kind of the last added layer for that active release. And then just a couple of things for anyone that hasn't utilized tapping or EFT is the act of tapping can help calm the amygdala, which is the brain's fear center, among many other things. So it's literally discharging stress chemistry from our bodies. And I think that's part of why I would struggle with using a positive, negative, pro con type phrase when tapping, because it's like, well, I'm too much in my head. So adding another thinking process to it isn't going to necessarily help me release anything. So that's why I started playing around with mantras. So tapping can be a sort of flush for our nervous system, as I was speaking to earlier. I just wanted to kind of highlight a couple of additional things here. And this was a way to allow what we've already been working with, the somatic exercise, the body scan, right? Working with the mudra, and then the mudra and mantra. This way it's tapping allows all of that to fully integrate, and it helps us really just step back, cleanse our minds, cleanse our bodies, lets us reset so that we can keep moving forward from a place of empowerment instead of, adding more to the burden that we're already carrying, or the stress or the anxiety. Insert whatever it is that you're doing on your end, right? We've all got our own collection that we've accrued, right? So these are your complete, this is the complete series. These are your tools to utilize however you'd like to. I just demonstrated in real time how I have kind of thrown different pieces that work for me together to enhance them both, to help them work collectively, to help me get past certain blocks that I had, that type of thing. So I hope you found this fortifying. I hope you found it protecting. I hope you found it releasing and helpful. As always, feel free to drop a comment. Let me know what worked. Let me know any shifts that you noticed. Let me know what didn't work. Something that you'd like to see added or something you'd like to see tried. Of course, with whatever you feel comfortable sharing, as always. And then just to reiterate, you can return to any parts of these to help you throughout your day. Any of these can, like I just demonstrated today, you can pair any of them together. So if your intuition is like, grab this piece, bring them together, that's perfect. That's going to enhance your own practice. That's going to help you elevate in a way that's aligned with what your authentic self and your intuition needs to help release. So, that's it for the main part of the series. Tomorrow I'll have one final aspect, just kind of tying it all together. And I don't think I had anything else. Nope, I think that's it. All right, well, thank you for joining me. Like I say, I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you next time.